There is something deeply uncomfortable about being trapped. Not chased, not hunted, just trapped. Imagine sitting inside a tiny submarine. The hatch behind you has been welded shut. The front window is sealed with metal, and the only way you can see outside is through a small, blurry camera. Now imagine that submarine sitting at the bottom of an ocean, but not a normal ocean, an ocean made entirely of human blood. This is the world of Iron Lung, and somehow, with very simple graphics and almost no dialogue, this game creates one of the most disturbing horror experiences in the recent years. So today I want to talk about the story of Iron Lung, what actually happens in the game, and why something so simple can feel so terrifying. Before the game even begins, humanity has already lost everything. In this universe, humans have colonized space. They are stationed orbiting distant planets. There are ships traveling between star systems. Humanity finally reached the future it dreamed about, but then something impossible happens. An event known as the Quiet Rapture. Suddenly, every star disappears. Entire solar systems vanish. Habitable planets are gone. Just gone. Nobody understands why, nobody understands how. The universe becomes dark and silent. The only humans left alive are the ones already inside space stations or ships when it happened, which means humanity is now scattered across space, alone, cut off from planets, cut off from resources, slowly running out of food and energy. Humanity is dying. But then, scientists discover something strange. On a distant moon, an ocean suddenly appears. An ocean made entirely of human blood. And somehow, inside this ocean, there might be resources that could help humanity survive. To explore this impossible ocean, the survivors built a submarine, the SM-13, but everyone calls it something else, the Iron Lung. And this is where the story gets darker. The person chosen to pilot the submarine is not a scientist, not a volunteer, not a hero. You are a convict. Someone society has already decided is expendable. You're given a deal. Pilot the Iron Lung, explore the trenches of the Blood Ocean, take photographs of important locations. If the mission succeeds, you will earn your freedom. But before the mission begins, you discover something unsettling. A message left by the previous pilot. And the message says something simple. This mission is not a chance at freedom. It's a death sentence. The Iron Lung is not designed for comfort. It is designed to survive the pressure of the Blood Ocean. The submarine is extremely small. You can barely move inside it. There's almost no room, and the design of the submarine tells you everything you need to know about this mission. The hatch behind you has been welded shut, which means even if you wanted to leave, you couldn't. The front window has been sealed with metal, because the pressure outside will crush the submarine instantly. So the only way to see outside is through a low quality camera mounted to the front. That camera becomes your eyes. Every location you explore, every discovery you make comes from blurry photographs. And somehow this makes the game much more disturbing, because you never clearly see the world outside. You only see fragments, pieces of information, and your imagination fills in the rest. The gameplay itself is surprisingly simple. You navigate the submarine using a map. The ocean floor is full of narrow trenches and tunnels. You slowly move from coordinate to coordinate, and each location you stop, take a photograph, and see what appears. At first the discoveries seem normal. You see rock formation, caves, but slowly the environment begins to change. The photographs show strange growth, plants, which raises a disturbing question. How can plants grow inside an ocean of blood? But things become even darker. As you explore deeper trenches, the photographs reveal massive skeletons, creatures far larger than anything humans has ever known. Some look ancient, some look almost alien, and the more you explore, the more it feels like this ocean has existed for much longer than anyone expected, which makes you wonder something disturbing. Where did this all blood come from? Then the game introduces one of the most unsettling discoveries: artificial structures, buildings, or at least something that looks like buildings. This suggests something terrifying. Someone or something might have lived here before, inside the Blood Ocean, and suddenly the mission feels even more dangerous, because now it seems possible that the ocean is not empty. At one location, you take a photograph. and something appears in the background. A shape, a large face, watching. Naturally, you take another photograph, but when the second picture develops, the face is gone, which means whatever you saw was alive. And now the blood ocean feels very different, because now you know something. You're not alone down there. As the submarine moves deeper into the trenches, strange things begin to happening. You approach a glowing orb deep in the ocean. Suddenly, the submarine begins shaking violently. Alarms start going off. The entire vessel feels unstable. Something about this place feels wrong. And then comes the moment that confirms your worst fear. You take another photograph, and the image shows something terrifying. An eye. A massive eye. Looking directly at the submarine. Looking directly at you. Which confirms the worst possible truth. They are living creatures inside the blood ocean, and one of them just noticed you. Moments later, the creature attacks. The submarine shakes violently. Metal groans under pressure, and suddenly a leak forms. Blood begins pouring into the submarine, and your time is now limited. But the mission continues, because if you stop now, everything humanity hoped for was pointless. Despite the damage, you continue navigating through the trenches, closer to the final coordinate, close to whatever is waiting in the darkness. The submarine is barely holding together, and then it happens. Something enormous approaches from the darkness. You cannot see it clearly, only movement, shadows. Then suddenly, a massive creature slams into the submarine. The back of the iron lung explodes open. The vessel is destroyed, and the pilot dies alone in the blood ocean. After the game ends, a message appears. The iron lung was never recovered. The photographs were never retrieved. Nobody knows what the pilot discovered. The mission failed. But strangely, the final message is still hopeful. Humanity is still searching for answers, still trying to survive in the dark universe. And maybe, somewhere out there, there is still hope. Iron Lung proves something interesting about horror games. You don't need massive budgets, you don't need photorealistic graphics. Sometimes horror works best when the player sees less. The limited camera forces you to imagine what is outside the submarine, and the imagination is often much scarier than anything that game could show directly. The game also creates fear through isolation. You're completely alone. No help, no escape. Just a tiny metal box slowly sinking deeper into an impossible ocean. But the most disturbing part might be the world itself. A universe where every star has disappeared. Humanity is dying, and the only place left to search for hope is an ocean of blood. That idea alone is terrifying. Another reason the game works so well is claustrophobia. Many horror games rely on darkness, but Iron Lung relies on something different: space, or rather, the lack of it. The submarine is incredibly small. You cannot move freely. You cannot walk around. You are basically sitting in an inside metal box. And the design choice is brilliant, because it removes any sense of control. In many horror games you can run away, you can hide, you can explore different paths, but in Iron Lung there is only one direction: forward, deeper into the ocean. Iron Lung shows how powerful simple horror can be. A tiny submarine, a dying universe, and something enormous waiting in the dark. And when the game ends, one question still remains: what exactly is living down there in the blood ocean? Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like or subscribe, and let me think what you think about the game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.